What is up guys, Fancy here. Today I'm going to be bringing to you guys my Dragon's B10 video. Basically, there are three main strategies to taking down the dragon. The first one is the one I'm going to be showing to you guys today. It is the easiest one, it is the one that you should aim for if you're building a Dragon's B10 team for the first time. Most of the time, if you see people farming dragons, like speed runs under 3 minutes or something like that, they usually have monsters like Bird, like Bois, that can take down the dragon really fast, or like Sigmaris to nuke him down. This strategy is actually completely different. It is more of a beginner strategy. I'm not exactly the best player around. I don't have the rarest monsters, but it's a strategy that you can actually do with just fully farmable monsters. All you pretty much need is 2 people to clear the dragon's debuff. 1 person with Dot, which is Zaiross, so Zaiross does 2 jobs. A healer, and then basically the last slot is a support. Oh wait, I forgot the reviver. Yeah, this is the reviver strategy. I'm gonna name it the reviver strategy. Basically, what this strategy does is we have 2 people to cleanse debuffs. You pretty much need this if you don't have someone to boost up your speed really fast. So like if you don't have a bird with like really fast speed, you can use some strategy like this. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for one of the towers beside the dragon, take down the tower first, and then go for the dragon afterwards. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to just leave it on auto. This is a fully auto strategy. It doesn't take any clicking. You don't have to target the crystals, you don't have to target anything. You can set the auto here for boss battle to right crystal then boss. If your team isn't strong enough, I would suggest you kill left crystal then right crystal then boss. But there is also a risk to that. We'll be getting to it very soon. So I have nearly 100% clear rate with this strategy. So we're just gonna let it auto through. Go hard on it. Go hard on this crystal. Come on, take it down. Take it down. Alright. So, Bernard's mainly here for the speed buff. Wind units don't work that well, but my Bernard is actually tanky enough to survive, so he has no problem being here. He's not the fastest Bernard, he only has 200 speed, like 200 exactly. He's not super fast, but it's already pretty nice. And my Belladon is here as my main healer. My Konamiya is here to cleanse debuffs, as well as provide a small heal. So, actually the most dangerous part of Dragon's B10 is actually the Zaiross part. In my opinion, it's the Zaiross part. This part is actually more dangerous than the boss. It's safer if you have a reviver. That's why the reviver strategy also works the safest. It's easy to build because if someone actually dies to the Zaiross part, you have your reviver to bring him back at the next level. So you can have your all 5 units ready for the boss. So we're just taking down the Zaiross really fast. It gets quite dangerous if one of your squishier units gets armor broken, and then Zaiross decides to use his 3rd skill, right away, and then put your healer's skill on cooldown. So if your team's not fast enough to go first, it could get quite dangerous. Or if your team isn't tanky enough to basically take these Zaiross like 1 round of damage and then wait for your healer's heal to be back up. So yeah, we got through the Zaiross part pretty much with my whole team intact. Not pretty much, like with my whole team intact. And this part is actually like the normal parts you shouldn't have any problem with. If you're having problems with the crystals, then Dragon's B10 you're not ready for it. You need some pretty good runes, pretty much like 5-star, 6-star runes that you farm off giants. You don't need anything violent, like anything like with violent or like endure or something like that. You don't need that. You can do it with like swift runes as long as they're like good swift runes or like focus runes and stuff like that. despair runes for some of your AoE units. Um, so what we're doing right now is we're taking down the tower over here. We're just very, very slowly taking it down. You want a dot monster for the strategy because you want the dot monster to dot down the tower. But the reviver is actually here just in case like your one person kills the tower instead of letting the dots kill it. Yeah, keep in mind this is fully auto. I'm not supposed to touch it. I'm not supposed to do anything. I don't have to do anything. I'm supposed to just leave it on auto, and then I'll have no problem taking down the tower. So I'm just leaving it. Building economy of research, speed buff, dots, and all that. Now in the moment of truth. Alright. So in the best case scenario, the tower will die to dots, which happened just now. But in a worst case, your reviver kills the tower. In order for the clear to be 100%, your team has to be strong enough to only take down one tower and then go straight for the boss. And even if your reviver dies, your other 4 units should be able to 4-man the boss. That way this strategy is 100% clear. This way if your reviver dies, you should still be okay, as long as your other units can take down the boss. So that's why I said if you try to kill the left tower first, it's actually more risky, because you're risking the chance of your reviver dying. If your reviver dies on the left tower before you kill right tower, basically you're gonna have to 3-man the boss, which could be doable if you have like a Lumi, or if you have like very high accuracy on Zaiross or something like that. You might be able to do it, but it's actually really, really risky. So we're just dotting down the dragon. He's gonna fall eventually. As soon as my Zaiross lands some dots, you should be able to take him down pretty easily, no problem. Alright, so the dragon went down. I can't really show the other 2 strategies because I don't have the units to do that. I can basically only show the reviver strategy because I don't have an AoE daughter, and I don't have like really fast speed units like Verd and Hua to run this. The run is about 6 to 7 minutes long. It's probably too long for some people, but you know, if you're just starting out, you don't have the monsters to build like a really strong team. This is the way to go. So these basic stats of my units that I ran for this strategy: my Belladon, pretty much 20k health, some defense, not really high speed, accuracy. He's on swift focus. I don't have a speed rune on 2, so I put HP here just to make him tanky enough. He's actually doing okay. Doesn't need like really high speed. My Bernard's on broken set swift, exactly 200 speed. Not the tankiest Bernard, and a little bit of accuracy. This is actually not bad. My Konamiya, 26k HP, it's around 700 defense, 600 something defense, and then pretty high speed, 150 something, and then has like 50% resistance and is on violent endure. My Zaiross is on violent energy, 25k HP, 136 speed, and 43% accuracy. My McKenna is 100% crit. This is the 100% crit McKenna build. Around 140 speed, around 23k HP. On Swift Blade, HP crit rate HP. Yeah, as I mentioned before, most of your units will need to be ruined pretty well. Wait, that wasn't Zaiross. It doesn't have to be ruined like very well, but most of your runes have to be like 5-star, 6-star runes, and then with the 2, 4, and 6 slot like maxed out, to reach certain stats. You should at least know how to build some of these units if you're trying to run a Dragon's B10 team. You should know that you want Bernard to be as fast as possible. You want Konamiya, unviolent. You don't have to run this exact team, but basically what the units you need are one reviver. That's why it's called the reviver strategy. Someone to revive. Anyone can actually work. Even a win unit like Brian or Michelle, that could work as well. You can run it with Vermos, Konamiya for the buff clear. These two basically are the free to play. He's like free to play immunity. If you have immunity and one buff clear, that could also work as well. Basically, you want one person to clear the buff, and then one person to put immunity on your units. If you can't do that, then you have 2 people clear the buff, which could work as well. Bernard's basically here to speed up the team. If you don't have Bernard, what you could also run is monster like Darien to reduce the damage, or a second healer, or even someone to reduce or increase the defense of your team, like Shannon. I can pretty much run this strategy using Shannon, Bernard, Darien, or Amen. These 4 all work. I can run it no problem. But they actually have a chance to fail at the Zaiross part, especially if I'm using Amen. What you need at the Zaiross part isn't a lot of healing. It's actually just to be fast in the Zaiross. That's why I put Bernard in, and Bernard actually is doing very well. So yeah, that is the reviver strategy. Thanks for watching. Happy summoning and peace.